All right, YouTube, several people have come to me asking, well, how are you going to change your material now that YouTube's policies changed to ban offensive things? That's not exactly what's happening. It is limited to advertising. What is happening is that people who use AdSense to gain ad revenue from the videos that they make, which, not everybody does, will be negatively impacted by this if they cover anything that's not like, fluff bunny comedy or something. Now, I feel sorry for those larger channels that have become reliant upon ad revenue in order to drive an influx of money, but I will say this. The same kinds of people that cover controversial or potentially offensive topics typically have fan bases that would be willing to voluntarily donate for a lack of ads. That's what I've found. I use Patreon. I'm making more than I would make from ad revenue just by asking people, if you can donate, then donate something on Patreon to help defray the costs of, internet, electricity, bought a microphone, whatever. And it works. It works just fine. That would be my my advice to some of these larger channels. Switch to using some other site for voluntary donations. A GoFundMe page, Patreon, whatever it happens to be, it doesn't really matter. Because ads suck anyway. There's no reason to use ad revenue. You're getting less money potentially if you're covering that type of topic anyway. Now, this is not just coming into force. This is not a new thing. This has been the case for months. I have ad revenue. I am enabled for ad revenue on YouTube. I can see which videos thus are eligible for monetization. And I can look at the sort of videos that I cover. And anything having to do with like ISIS or something like that is ineligible and has been for many months for monetization. This is not a new thing. I have a feeling that some people feel it's new because maybe for the really big uploaders, you get 500,000 subscribers, maybe YouTube temporarily didn't kick this in for them or something, and maybe the channels like mine that, it's a large channel, but it's not, it's not Stefan Molyneux or something like that. Maybe for them they get a pass or did for some months. I feel sorry for you, bro, but you got to switch off the ad revenue and switch to something else if you're really concerned about, I'm going to lose so much money or it's a form of censorship. It's not a form of censorship. Not unless YouTube is your primary source of income. If it is, use Patreon. Do it. You can make it work. If I can make, 350 or something a month off of Patreon, then if I had 10 times as many subscribers, I'd expect to be making about a median income off of YouTube, which, by the way, is possible within the future. I talk about controversial issues, and I'm not going to change the way I speak. I wouldn't care, by the way, if YouTube was updating their policy to explicitly ban offensive content, I'd ignore it. I'd say, to hell with it. I'm going to speak as I want to. If they ban my channel, they ban my channel. But this doesn't affect, it's not like YouTube saying, you're going to get strikes on your account for posting offensive material, whether or not it's graphic. It's not what they're saying. You can't flag material for being offensive. It's not going to happen. What would end up erupting on YouTube if they ever implemented that is the most massive false flagging war that you'd ever see. And they would have to pull that back down. Now, lots of people are spreading hashtags and making videos about this and saying, we're going to protest YouTube on this move. You should. If you feel that strongly, yes, you absolutely should oppose this. Maybe you can get it rescinded. Now, I would stand with you. I don't like the idea of people's ad revenue being pinched off just because the video that they post has something to do with Islam or something like that. I think it's retarded. I don't think it's a good idea. But it doesn't affect content creators in the form of, your channel is removed if you're offensive, if you swear, or if you do this, that, or the other thing. That's not what's happening. It has only to do with ad revenue. For any user of YouTube who doesn't get ad revenue, it doesn't affect you. For anyone who uploads fluff bunny comedy or something like that, it's not going to affect you. Your content's not going to be considered offensive unless it's a true pearl clutcher, the Westboro Baptists or something like that. And for everybody else, I feel for you. But if you're worried about losing your ad revenue, you've got several choices. You can shut down your YouTube channel and just, be a big baby about it and be all butthurt. Or you can get on with your fucking life. You can deal with the fact that you get less ad revenue, or switch to voluntary donations like I use and like many others use. You can switch entirely, or you can combine the two together. Either way, do whatever makes you happy. But when people come to me and they say, oh, well, YouTube's making this big policy change, it's not a change. They've been doing this for months. I've noticed it myself. It was just never worth talking about until now. Everyone's all up in arms about it. It's not a form of censorship directly. It's only a form of censorship if you assume somebody is just living off of their ad revenue and now they won't be able to make rent or something like that. Use some other service. There are many of them available. There's GoFundMe, there's Patreon, there are other sort of ad networks actually as well, like Social Blade. I think those are legit. I'm not exactly completely sure, but they're not AdSense. And AdSense probably the weakest advertising platform you could be using if there are multiple platforms anyway. It's going to stiff people. Thor News had a video over a year ago where he said, oh yeah, they changed their algorithms. All of a sudden I dropped in ad revenue by like $200 a month. What happened is that was the point at which the controversial issues thing took center stage. It has to do with his tagging or titles or something like that. So yeah, he was losing ad revenue. But in my opinion, it's kind of a weird idea to use ad revenue in the first place. It slows down the rate of growth of your channel potentially anyway, because a lot of people don't want to look at ads. And you're getting a very tiny proportion of that revenue anyway. With a site like Patreon, you're getting most of that money for yourself. They deduct like, 5-10% or something like that. With AdSense, you're getting like 1% of the actual ad revenue that they're receiving. So which one's the better deal? Yes, it's something your subscribers have to potentially pony up money themselves. I think that some of these larger channels would be surprised to realize that a lot of people do not have a problem with giving $1 a month to somebody who creates a lot of good quality content. And there are many creators that fall into that category. I listen to a lot of different YouTubers. I'm subscribed to many, many people. And I watch some of their videos occasionally, and I watch some of them regularly. Ramsey Paul uploads something, I'm going to watch it. Many other content creators would fall into that category. If they were asking for Patreon donations, I'd be tempted to donate to them if they're creating a significant enough amount of significantly good quality material. And that's, I hope, the ethos people use with my channel. If they don't like anything on my channel, they liked one video 6 months ago, I don't expect them to be donating to me. And those of us that do talk about the controversial or the inappropriate or whatever you want to call it issues tend to have the most ardent fan bases because there are often no mainstream platforms for them to get that kind of news or opinion or content in. You can't go on Fox or CNN and see people talk the way that I talk. You're never going to see it. Unless they have Trump on there for an interview or something. Then you'll see something a little bit, perhaps sticks light as far as the content goes. So I think people appreciate that. So no, it's not some YouTube Armageddon. Yeah, people should stand against it if they feel principled enough. I won't, but I support those that will stand against it. I mean, I don't use ad revenue. I don't really have a part in this. But I can understand why some people would be epically pissed off. If you're getting, I got $1,000 a month in ad revenue, now I'm getting like 10 cents. I can understand why you'd be upset. There are ways around this, though. You can dumb down your material if you want. Make 100 videos of you just sitting there humming quietly while holding a tolerance and diversity sign. YouTube might find that offensive in the future, but who knows? It is arbitrary. It is kind of a dumb policy, but at the same time, it's not new. It's not Armageddon. No, they're not coming after your channels if you're on, I'm alt-right, so they're going to ban me. No. Maybe if you leave, stupid comments in the wrong places, you might be banned. But if you're just putting content out there, it can be edgy. Some of my content is edgy. It's not going to get flagged because nothing in them is against YouTube's terms of service. I'm already aware of that. That's about all. Peace out.